Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Every public life has routines people admire. The bright hair, the quick laugh, the morning banter that feels like home. But behind those effortless moments can be tiny, repeated acts of restraint. The way a hand pauses on a coffee mug, the deliberate choice to answer a caller with a smile when inside there's a knot of worry. Picture a couple who built a life on shared mornings. One person, the vivacious presence in the spotlight, the other, the steady anchor behind the scenes. Public viewers see the laughter. The private witness knows the sighs between takes. Those sighs aren't dramatic on their own. They are steady, quiet signals. Over time, they accumulate. The small battles become the background hum of daily life, and the bravest thing sometimes is simply getting out of bed and doing the next small, ordinary thing. Then, a late-night quiet conversation changes the rhythm of the entire house. But what was said in that hush, that's the question that draws us forward. Expectations are quiet gravity. When millions tune in every morning, the world expects brightness, clarity, and an endless supply of reassuring answers. Those expectations sit not only on the one in front of the camera, but also on the partner who keeps the home steady. Our imagined couple learns early to carry public expectation with private tenderness. Yet expectations don't rest, they compound. A missed rehearsal, a tired smile that falters for a beat, becomes fodder for internal pressure. They learn to measure their days in performances and private check-ins, balancing the intangible ledger of how we look with how we feel. There's a point when that ledger no longer balances, and one partner quietly raises the alarm. "I don't think I can keep pretending." The words are soft, but in the hush of a celebrity kitchen, they reverberate. What follows is not drama for headlines. It's two people trying to recalibrate love under the glaring light of public life. Not all secrets are dark. Many are protective. A person may hide a diagnosis, a fear, or a private coping mechanism, not to deceive, but to shield the other from worry, or to maintain a sense of control when the rest of life feels unpredictable. In our story, a partner keeps a small routine to manage their stress, a late-night journaling habit, an occasional solitary walk, or a pill bottle tucked into a nightstand. These acts are not perfidious, they are survival strategies. But secrets breed their own loneliness. When the other partner finds out, the reaction is often less about anger and more about the shock of not being allowed in. The betrayal is not of trust in the usual sense, but a grief for time lost, the time when help could have been given, the time when hands could have been held. That revelation prompts a turning point. Will they respond with judgment or with curiosity and care? Repair doesn't need grand gestures. It thrives on small, persistent acts, making tea at dawn without being asked, driving across town to sit in the waiting room, learning the names of medications and doctors. In our imagined arc, the discovery of the secret is followed by small, steady kindnesses that begin to heal eroded trust. The partner in the spotlight learns to read subtle cues, a change in posture, a different cadence of speech, and responds with attention rather than theatrical apologies. These tiny habits are heavy with meaning, showing up for an early appointment, sitting through a long, meandering conversation in the middle of the night, or simply learning to listen without offering solutions. The audience sees the polished morning persona, but these private acts, tedious, sometimes awkward, always human, are the real scaffolding of recovery. Public careers invite scrutiny. A strained laugh on air, a canceled appearance, or a briefly shaky breathing can ignite curiosity. In our scene, fans start whispering. A headline edges toward conjecture. The couple faces a fraught choice: tell the truth and risk losing privacy, or say nothing and allow rumors to do the storytelling. They choose a middle path, authenticity on their own terms. It's a careful negotiation, One partner wants to protect the other wants to be honest without turning private pain into spectacle. That negotiation leads to a short, sincere statement to their audience, not an airing of grievances, but an invitation to compassion. The reaction surprised them. Instead of scorn, there's an outpouring of stories from viewers who have faced similar shadows. The discovery that they were not alone becomes a strange, tender relief. Sometimes a stranger's words are the clearest mirror. A handwritten letter from an older viewer, the reader in our target demographic, arrives just when hope seems thin. It speaks not of celebrity, but of loyalty and shared mornings, of how the show has held a place in living rooms for decades. The letter confesses fears, thanks the couple for years of comfort, and offers wisdom gleaned from long life. Tell the truth to those you love. We'll still tune in. The letter's simplicity is a powerful salve. It reframes the choice as service rather than spectacle. In a world that prizes privacy, this message underscores an important truth. Vulnerability, when shared thoughtfully, can become a bridge. The couple reads the letter together, and for the first time they imagine telling their story not as a confessional, but as a help to others. Timing matters. They decide to craft a message to their audience that honors privacy while offering solidarity. It will not be a sweeping revelation, but a gentle acknowledgement, an admission that not everything is perfect, and that asking for help is an act of courage. They rehearse the words in living rooms and hotel green rooms, hunting for a phrase that is both human and hopeful. When the day arrives, the camera is waiting, the lights are bright, the world leans in.
The words self-possessed. We're human, they say. We've been through a hard time. The admission ripples through viewers. Comments flood social feeds, not with sick curiosity, but with gratitude. It's a small public moment with a huge private resonance. The relief of having the truth out, and the simultaneous fear of what the next day will bring. Healing is seldom linear. After their statement, panic can still arrive in the small hours. A midnight phone call, a remembered wrong, a sudden anxiety reminds them that publicity did not erase the underlying struggle. The couple has learned to treat setbacks as data, not doom. They practice crisis scripts: hold, breathe, share. One partner learns that their job is sometimes to be the steady voice on the other end of the line, to remind the person who is hurting that this moment too will pass. These tiny emergency rituals build muscle memory, slow breathing, counting to 10, ground-based practices that bring the brain back into the room. Over time, the frequency of midnight alarms decreases, and when they happen, both of them have tools rooted in love and hard-won experience. Going to therapy for the first time can feel like admitting failure, but it can also be a radical act of curiosity. In our story, the couple begins to treat therapy as mapping, learning the terrain of their responses, understanding triggers, and discovering the old stories that have shaped their fears. The therapist offers a metaphor that changes everything. You're not broken, you're a map in progress. That phrasing shifts their work away from shame and toward exploration. They learn historical family patterns, the ways childhood echoes into adult decisions, and how repetitive scripts can be rewritten with compassion. Instead of therapy as a one-time cure, it becomes ongoing maintenance. Like dental care or regular checkups, it preserves the strength of the relationship. The viewers watch this evolution, and many begin to see therapy not as stigma, but as practical wisdom. A discovery, an old postcard, a childhood photograph, opens a door to a memory the struggling partner had long kept folded away. Perhaps it is an image of a small kitchen table where a parent's worry was misinterpreted as criticism, or a note that they were too much as a child. This memory reframes their present-day anxieties. It is not just about fame, but about survival strategies coded decades earlier. Realizing this is liberating. It allows them to say aloud what had felt like an unchangeable trait.
Naming the source of the fear reduces its power. The partner can now practice new behaviors with gentleness, noticing triggers, stepping aside to breathe, and choosing alternative responses. The other partner's role shifts into gentle witness and practical collaborator, repeating new rhythms of reassurance until they stick. The public reaction surprises in gentle ways. Instead of intrusive curiosity, many viewers respond with empathy and stories of their own hidden struggles. One viewer recounts decades of living with a partner with a similar pattern, thanking the couple for igniting an overdue conversation. Others share practical advice, names of compassionate doctors, community resources, the recommendation of a local support group. This communal response restores faith in the public square as a place for human connection rather than sensationalism. The couple finds solace in letters and social posts that say, "We're with you." For an audience in their 60s, many of whom have lived through their own seasons of private difficulty, these responses feel like a village showing up, steady, practical, and kind. They mark progress with a small ritual, a private ceremony in their garden, a vow of sorts, not to the world, but to each other. They exchange practical promises, to pause before assuming, to ask questions before judging, to keep medical notes in a shared place. It's not poetic, it's stalwart. But that stalwartness carries the weight of renewal. The ritual becomes symbolic of their new contract, transparency wrapped with boundaries. They realize healing is not about perfection, it's about commitment to the ongoing work of being human together. The ceremony becomes a quiet story they tell at home, and occasionally they reference it on air as a way to model marriage as a continuous project, not a fixed state.